Welcome to the Blackest Box You Know, the Black Box Podcast, presented to you by Faith Temple Ministries Apostolic. I'm Jara Boggs, one of your panelists for episode 3, and alongside me we have
Damon,
Janiyah,
Janae,
and Michaela.
And we are the
Black Box Podcast.
Bow!
Woo!
So if y'all don't know, we pick out topics out this black box. So, you ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Hard in the paint.
Why we always keep
Yeah,
getting that one?
We always do, y'all, we always get hard in the paint. Like, and we did that like episodes ago.
Okay.
2 episodes.
Young, black, and saved. What does this mean to you?
Didn't I tell y'all we was going to get this question? I told y'all we was going to get this question. What does that mean to you?
You want to start? Who wants to start?
Yeah, let's have the person asking the question to start.
Young, black, and saved.
As a 13-year-old.
I don't know. Hold on. I gotta think on this. Can somebody go first? I gotta think.
I mean, you're a preteen. Like, you're still becoming into yourself. So it's like, it's okay to not fully know because you're 13 years old.
Yeah.
To be young, black, and safe for me as a college student and growing into adulthood and growing to learn myself more, to be young, black, and saved, young is to not be so like involved in the temptations and things, and we talked about this in the past episode, but to not be so involved or tempted to do things of the world. Black, be aware of your surroundings and know the world you're living in the America you're living in, the United States you're living in. Like, you know, what everybody teaches their kids as not being an ethnicity or colored person is not like teaching a person of color or ethnicity. You have to teach them certain ways, certain things that some people can do, but others we cannot do. And to be saved as a 20-year-old going into my 21-year-old, you know, being a 21-year-old, is to grow in God, get to know God for yourself, gain a relationship for myself, for like a relationship for myself with God, like have him as a friend so he can teach me the ways and how to go and my path and my journey and my destination for who I'm gonna become to minister and help other people. That's what I feel.
Ooh.
I think for me, young, black, and saved, all 3 of them together mean to me to be different. First of all, you're young, and people don't expect a lot from you at a young age. So be different, stand out, be different from the rest of the young people. Like Jira said, temptation is real. So be different. Being black, you're already the minority. So you're black, minority, and then saved. You're also a minority.
Yep.
If you go into school and you say you're saved, you're a minority. So you're a minority through all 3 of those. So to me, that's being different. That's standing out. That's trying to make a difference. That's what that means to me.
To piggyback off of that, to be the black and saved part, the black and saved, you coming in a school system or whatever, black and saved, you're already different. So you weren't meant to be in the in crowd in the first place, because that's already 2 difference right there. It's just like, you know, a unicorn. You know what I'm saying?
You're a rare breed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, y'all basically said it. Being different, for real, just really just being the, no pun intended, the black sheep.
Yeah.
Like that's what it means to me. Just really just standing out and just doing your own thing, but doing the right thing.
Right. In a
God's
positive
eyes.
light.
Yeah.
Like,
Making a difference
Yeah.
at a young
And
age.
just impacting people, you know, especially with our own skin tone and other minorities, not even just us. You know what I'm saying? I think sometimes we as black folk, we want to focus on our people, which is nothing wrong with that. But I feel like at times we need to focus on the other minorities because we ain't the only ones struggling too.
Through.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, yeah, that's what that means to me, is really just using what we got and what we know in the relationship we have with the Lord, and then just really branching out and just trying to bring a lot of everybody else with us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So don't just limit it to
Or
our kind.
or I would say to be young, black, and saved is to be in a positive light, to be what you know everyone else is scared to be.
Right. Yep.
Be what you know nobody else will be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Be that to make young girls and young boys, young men look up to want to be like, I want to be different. I want to make an impact. I want to, bless people. I want to help people in more than just, more than just the everyday normal ways of doing it. Like, be what nobody else is going to stand up to be and say, I'm here and I'm willing to do it. And people can look up to you and like follow in your path.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
And I like that because a lot of people may be like nervous or scared because they think people are going to judge them. And people will.
Most definitely.
But,
if you ain't got haters, you ain't doing something right.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
But yeah, I like that. What you said?
I don't know. Y'all pretty much like said it all like the same thing, but in different forms. But I don't know, like. No.
We had 4 different people.
No, but I'm saying like I agree with y'all. Like there's not much because I agree with what y'all are saying.
And not only that, y'all, like, she's still 13. So
Yeah.
I mean,
You're young.
like, young.
Gerber.
Like some 13-year-olds, and if you're in middle school or early high school stages, y'all can relate to Janiyah a lot, and even Kayla, because even though Kayla's graduating, she's still in high school or whatever. But like you're not gonna know at like 12 and 13, like people that's for those that age limit. I mean, the age range that's watching, like, don't be not only that. Our age range too. Like, don't be afraid to choose God. Like, don't be afraid to, because some people like. They're like, that church stuff, I don't do that, or that Christian stuff, I don't do that, and da-da-da. It's just like, some people think it's just like a trend, like you just follow it just because, or I'm just, like we talked about in the other, I think in the first episode, like, it's a trend, or just because my mom and dad did it, like, no, like, get to know it for yourself. Even if it started off with, like, as like a little kid, VeggieTales stories, or little Bible stories, or
Love of VeggieTales.
just like a simplified version. It don't have to be all because like the big words like that, but like a simplified version for y'all to understand, like a modified version. But like, get to know it for yourself. And not only that, this is like kind of like off the topic, but like people understand ministry in different ways.
Yes.
Some people get it in song, dance, preaching. They receive it differently. Like, what are some of the ways that y'all receive the most that y'all know?
Oh, I love music. I think music is one of the main ways I receive ministry, music and dance. But if the music is impactful and the person that's singing the song and the instruments behind it are actually ministering
Definitely.
and are actually filled with the Spirit, it'll come off like you won't even need the word at that point.
Definitely.
You already got it. You already received it.
Yeah, I've been to services like that though.
Yeah.
We're literally, we probably did like 2 songs.
Whole service gone.
Whole
A rap.
service.
Everybody
A
slaying
rap.
out in the
Because
street.
y'all don't understand. Some musicians and singers don't understand. Y'all set the tone for the spirit. Y'all set the atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? When Kayla, me, Janiyah is singing, and he's playing the drums, we set the tone for the atmosphere. When people come in, they feel welcome. You know what I'm saying? They feel the atmosphere. They feel the Holy Spirit. Welcome. God is already here. You just have to let him inside to accept him, to be in the worship, be in the atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to meditate, like that morning or that day before, that night before. You have to literally like meditate and get yourself mentally prepared. Like, you set the atmosphere for the people. Like, I don't want people to feel like you go off the emotions of the people, singing or playing the drums. It's not an emotional thing. It's we set the atmosphere for, the Spirit to fall on you. You know what I'm saying? The Spirit to fall on you. And like you said, like some services, we don't even get to the preaching because it's like we've ministered, through song and through music, the drums, the keyboard, that is also ministry. Like, you have to, people who play musicians, that ministry through playing, that's also a flow of the atmosphere in the worship in the Spirit. That's the Holy Spirit as well. Yeah, that's the actual ministry. It's not just a talent.
That's the actual ministry that God gives people.
Yeah.
So if you y'all go ahead.
What? No finish.
Through like actual, I think people should separate talent and like ministry, because God gives you a talent to minister to his people for his word. You know what I'm saying? Like him playing drums. I don't think he even learned from nobody for real, like actually took lessons. But when I tell you this boy like came out the womb just like playing. Like we used to make drum sets out of like pencil boxes and stuff. Do you remember that? Like pencil boxes and pots and pans. And singing with the microphones, and we would just be singing like, and just playing. Like since little kids. You know what I'm saying? He gives you a talent to minister to his people. Now, he went from those same pencil boxes to a whole drum set, ministering to a crowd of people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And setting the atmosphere right for people to fall in God's spirit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's in the Bible,
Yeah.
ministering through
Through sound.
instruments and sound.
Yeah.
That's in the Bible. And I also would like to say, a lot of us young people, we need to practice going into church more. A lot of us are so constricted to, okay, COVID had us watching live and so I can just watch it. No, sometimes you need to actually get in the house and feel
Be
the
amongst-
spirit move yourself.
Yeah.
Be amongst the people.
And some people feel like, oh, I don't have to. Like we talked about it in a few episodes. Like you don't always have to be in the church to be a Christian and have your own relationship. No, but if you can make time to do everything else you want to, you can make time to have an hour or two for Him. You know what I'm saying? To dedicate time for Him and devote it straight to Him. You can make time for that. If you can make time to go hang with your friends, go to clubs, go to parties, go to, get your nails and lashes. If you can make time for everything else you want to do, you can make time to step in for Him.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, y'all just don't understand. I'm telling you, as a 20-year-old person in college, I come home every weekend from college. When I tell you, if you give Him your time, just the 2 hours we be in here, 2.5 hours we be in here, depending on how the Spirit moves, because we let the Spirit move. Like, we don't rush the Spirit at all. We let the Spirit move. God is going to bless you in ways you don't even know. Like, the things that you thought weren't even possible for your works or the things you worry so much about, He's going to make it happen for you. I'm telling you, He's going to bless you.
We all, and I'm going to say this, we all just left the service. Was it last weekend?
Mm-hmm.
Last weekend. Good friend of mine, Justin Goodman, did a service, and it was a Night of Hope service. And y'all, when I tell y'all, I had never seen, like, I knew for myself, being in church all my life, that God works miracles and stuff like that. But I had never in life seen miracles happen in my face, like, there, in a split second. Never. And that's just by being in the room. Like, when we say y'all sometimes need to come in the church, be in the room. They can cast stuff
To
out.
experience the blessings.
That's like, that whole service was an entire experience for me. And I'm telling y'all, I've been in church all of my life, but that service was a true experience. That was life-changing.
And you know what's crazy? Well, we're not going to touch too much on that because, we're going to have a guest here. Evan's a guest here, and we, talk way more in depth about that. But it's crazy because our mothers said our grandfather and like the old generation, they used to do, it used to be called like tent services or something like that. Yeah, stuff like that. And they used to do that. They used to do that stuff. It was basically like that, just like not in a tent this time or not outside or whatever. But to like, I feel like we need to bring that back to realize that if you have that faith of a mustard seed, it was a visual of of the scripture
faith.
of having a faith of a mustard seed can do so many, can change you, can heal you, can bless you. It was the fact of that service to see what God can do, not just hear what God can do, but to see what God can do right there in the moment if you just believe and have faith.
Everything that we're talking about today was basically what was going on in that service. They were all young. Justin Goodman, he's in his 20s, late 20s, maybe early 30s. He's young. He is young. And like Jara said, all we needed was a tiny bit of faith. And it was people getting healed. It was getting people getting saved. Y'all, what we just talked about, the music, bringing in, moving the spirit, that happened. And that's what caused all the miracles to happen, because it was a song, The Blood. Was that the song?
I know what you're talking about, but I can't think of that song right now.
But that one song shifted the whole service, the entire service. That one song, and that's a hymnal. It was a hymn. And that one hymn shifted the whole entire service. And one other thing I'm going to say before I stop talking, please do not be scared to talk to your friends if they don't know the Lord. Don't be afraid to talk to them, but also understand that you can't help somebody that doesn't want to be helped.
Yeah.
I'm dealing
Very
with
true.
that right now. I have friends that used to go to church and they're like, yeah, I don't do that church thing anymore, but you steady come to me every weekend about a problem, and I'm trying to assist you, but you don't want to hear it because I just don't believe. You're telling me you don't have no money, and I just told you that I didn't have no money not too long ago, and I gave all I had to God, and the very next day, I was
Boom.
blessed. But you don't want to hear that 'cause
Boom.
I ain't got no money. That just is irresponsible of me to get. Please, no. Did you hear what I just
If
said?
every week you got a problem, you ain't got money for your bills, you going through depression, every week is something.
But
I'm
you don't
telling
you don't want nobody to help you. You don't want nobody to say go to God. You don't want nobody to tell you to go to God. And I'm dealing with that consistently. I got friends, y'all. I done cut off a whole group of friends because if we can't be in tune together, if you are not assisting
Equally
me,
yoked.
if you are not assisting me in my spiritual advancement in Christ, you have got to go. You cannot be in my circle.
Right.
You can't be in my space because you're tainting my spirit, and you got to get up out of here. Yeah. So I left the whole group chat and ain't thought about going back because I don't have time for that. I'm in a whole nother season in my life where I have to make sure I get closer to God, get my spirit right, because I'm changing, I'm revolving, and that's what I want to do. So no, I'm not gonna go to the club. No, I'm not about to listen to all that music. No, we're not going to smoke no hookah. No, we're not doing none of that. Don't ask me, because I'm not going.
And not only that, to piggyback off, for young mothers out there, but not only for her, but for her kids, to set an example and a way of life and a living and a path for her kids. Because a lot of young mothers out there still, like her, still trying to battle, not trying to tell your testimony, but, the young life is still, like, being a woman of God, like, trying to be a young woman of God. But, sorry, that was a little off, but that was great. That was great, y'all.
Good job.
To piggyback off, not to piggyback, but to go back to the your way of ministry, Kayla and Janiyah, what would be your way of ministry? And Damon, I would say.
I would say my way is music and dance. For a lot of people who don't know, I am a I am a dancer and I twirl. So I feel like dance, I guess you guys know, I don't really like to talk as much, but dancing is my way of like communicating, I guess you could say. And singing, I just like to feel the spirit and the soul of music, and it gets me there.
So, okay, being your dancer, do you ever get the feeling while you praise dancing that you just want to like break out and shout, break out and holler, or anything? Or what do you feel when you feel like God, like you feel the spirit? Do you ever feel the spirit, and what do you feel when you feel the spirit?
Yes. Yes, I do be feeling the spirit. Sometimes I do just want to like stop and break and shout and stuff like that. But it also.
Quench the spirit. You need quench the spirit.
Because I know like I have to do this because I got stuff coming behind me. But a lot of times it really depends on the song and like how the dance goes. If I'm really feeling the song, like it's gonna like take me to another level. So yeah, I do be wanting to like shout and scream and stuff like that, but I know the service still has to go. The service has to go on.
But the thing about it is, like when you feel it, like don't hold it back. If you have to scream in the middle of the dance, like go ahead, do it, unleash it, or put it. Yes, or just put it. Cry. Let it all release in the dance, and when you're done with the dance, just break out the shout, and Damon will pick you up. Damon will pick it right up.
Yo, and we'll keep it moving.
Exactly.
Cause I shout going right up off the stage.
Yeah.
Kayla. Oh, I'm sorry, Damon.
Go ahead, Kayla.
I say, outreach would be my ministry because I like and like missionary work. Like I like helping people. I like, the community. I love being able to help the community, and yeah.
And yeah. Of course, music for me. I'm with Kayla too. Just outreach. I love giving to people. I'd give you the shirt off my back if I could. As far as what I feel, for real, it's unexplainable. It's different, especially from a musician standpoint, because it's like, you contributed to something, and you can see the effects of it. And me, I don't do it. Ever since I was playing, I don't play to get recognition or to get, hey man, you did a great job today, woo woo woo, or get a paycheck or anything. I do it because I genuinely love to play, and I feel like that actually the Lord blesses me with my skills. Cause to be quite honest, y'all, I ain't gonna cap. I don't be practicing. If you hear, yeah, I don't practice at all. Like I'm gonna just keep it a band. That's really just all the Lord just using me, and you know, just basically just moving my hands for me. Just moving my hands for me, my body. Yeah. But as far as like the community, yeah, I love giving back to children. I love giving back to people that don't have, because they really appreciate it.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a beautiful thing. And then next thing you know, you might see them in church, and then their whole life changed just because we just did we just gave them a bologna sandwich. You know what I mean? And some chips. Yeah. You know what I mean? Or we just talked to them. Yeah, to them, it was like $1 million, man. That was like a 5-course meal. But yeah, I love outreach. I love music, song, dance too. Yeah, dance too for sure. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Thanks for tuning in to today's episode of the Black Box Podcast. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Be sure to like, comment, and share our posts, and look out for new posts every first and third Saturday of each month.
Boxed out!